All right, here goes.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to We Don't Know What Happened. This is We Don't Know Network's weekly roundup show. Every week we get together, go over some big topics from the week. As always, I have my co-host with me, Jacob Wolf, aka the Wolfman.
What's going on?
Hey guys, if you like the show, want to hear more content, please head over to our YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts and listen to all of our shows on the that We Don't Know Network has to offer. You can even hit our socials. Find us on Instagram and Twitter at WDK_network. You can hop on there, ask us some questions, and we'll answer them on your guys' favorite shows. Jacob, what's going on, buddy?
I do love the fact that you had a hard time with the WDK instead of saying we don't know, because I do that every single time.
Yeah.
Just to let the guys know, this episode is brought to you by the WDK Network YouTube page, but we'll get into that more later.
Awesome. What's been going on, man?
I spent the day at the Winchester, the pub downtown, watching soccer. My Wolves are
stupid sport was on, I guess.
My Wolves are now fighting for life. That we need Chelsea to win in the FA Cup over Arsenal to keep us in the Europa League. It is a bunch of soccer math that Brian doesn't understand, but hopefully some of our fans out there understand the heartbreak I feel today.
I don't think anybody cares, honestly.
I think there's one person out there that's like, you know what, that Jacob guy, I feel for him.
I'm so glad.
I love that guy. I feel for him.
I'm so glad NBA is coming back, like for real, like real games this week. So I don't have to listen to you and Ethan and Jared talk about soccer anymore. So,
no, Jared, Ethan loves talking about NBA.
Yeah, I know, but he also likes soccer.
And I will say, in our NBA episode, I had some pretty good insight. I will say, I'm not the NBA guy. I'm more of a college sports guy. Professional football, professional basketball, not my thing. I know more about the college game. But I feel like I did a good job with this one.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about NBA just a little bit later before we close out. Just big matchups that are early in the season, because we are getting back to real NBA games. That starts this Thursday, so that's exciting. But let's get into it, man. Let's get into some of these news topics.
So
Jacob, go ahead.
The first thing we got here is the Snyder Cut will not show any of the Joss Whedon footage.
Yeah, so pretty much Zack Snyder said, I'm not having none of that.
He said, fuck that guy. Real quick.
Yeah, so here are just some quotes from Snyder himself. He'd literally blow that fucking thing up before he used any of the Whedon's footage. He said there would be no chance on earth that I would use a shot after I left that movie, after he saw it. He said I would destroy the movie. I would set it on fire before I use a single frame that I did not photograph. That's a fucking hard fact.
Yo, that's a baller ass thing to say, though.
Yeah. So, and I mean, we just heard from, we've been hearing from the guy who plays Cyborg, which I can't think of his name because I don't give a fuck about those movies. But he's been saying like, yo, Joss Whedon's a dickhead. Like, he's got some problems to worry about if Snyder shows the real film. He's like, and like apparently a bunch of Joss Whedon's workplace practices are real fucked up. That's what he's like alluding to. So, but hey, Zack Snyder, it's your film. I mean, damn, do whatever you want with it.
Well,
I'm with
they
you.
replaced him
I'm not
halfway
against
through,
it
though, didn't they? Isn't that what the issue is? They replaced him.
He had a family member die,
and
like he like emotionally couldn't like go on. So, of course, they hired who. I mean, arguably
Joss
one of
Whedon,
the best.
he's not. I mean, like everyone that's in those comic books and the comic book business, Joss Whedon's a big name for a good reason.
Yeah. But he completely fucked that movie. Maybe he did it on purpose. Maybe it was like an inside job since he's like
he's a Marvel guy, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Take care of this once and for fucking all.
Yeah, well, I mean,
throw Slender Man in here for no fucking reason.
I think me and Jacob can both. Like, I think Jacob can agree with me. Like, we don't care about these DC films. They're not.
I mean, good. I try so hard.
Yeah. I've seen them all, but
we were literally talking about this at the Winchester today about the fact that HBO Max doesn't even have all the good DC movies. Like, we don't have the Dark Knight movies on HBO Max. And I mean, everyone that knows anything about DC movies, those are by far the best, DC.
Aquaman is an abomination to art.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started.
Let's not get started.
Thinking it would be a fun watch.
No, it's not good. Shazam is the only good DCEU movie. That's the only
even
good
then,
one.
like Shazam, not a great story, but it's Zach
fun.
Levine,
it was
that's
fun.
His name, right? Zach Levine.
I believe so. Yeah.
He does a good job. He's funny enough. He's relatable enough. He's like their version of Robert Downey Jr. Like he can goof around enough, like fun enough.
That's disrespectful. To
No,
RDJ.
it really is. But I'm saying like that's the best they've got. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, because comparatively speaking, what's the next thing you got? You got Jason Momoa, and he's not funny. Nothing he's ever done. His delivery is not funny at all. They give him funny lines that would be funny if The Rock said it, but he's trash when he tries to give a comic line.
Yeah.
Fight me. I don't give a fuck. At me wherever you have to. He's not a funny dude. Like nothing he does is funny.
I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's put in movies.
He's called Drogo. He is serious and he is a badass, but he's not your comic relief guy. Rapist. And Aquaman is nothing but comedy because he's a piece of trash that talks to fucking fish.
All right, Jacob really doesn't like Aquaman.
I don't. Let's move on. He's such a terrible comic.
Let's move on to something that I know Jacob likes. Go ahead.
Yes, the Doritos bag leaks Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War logo.
So the Cold War title has been very, very heavily rumored. It hasn't officially been
almost officially
announced.
Like it was that close, but this is like the nail in the coffin.
So of course, this was on Twitter. Some guy tweeted he got some pictures. It's Call of Duty Black Ops, Cold War, cool logo. Jacob, you're a history buff. Please, a very brief description on the Cold War.
Yeah, so basically the Cold War started almost immediately after World War II. It's essentially the fact that Russia beat us to Berlin. We had to fight with them over political power there. They were trying to influence communism. We obviously were trying to influence democracy / a republic. And it turned into a worldwide stage for who could sweep up the most communist versus democratic states when it came to countries. The most popular episode of the Cold War is obviously Vietnam, where that was a proxy war between the U.S. and the Russians. Same as Korea. That was a proxy war between the USA, and then China jumped in because they were also communist as they were influenced by Russia. So basically the Cold War was a bunch of proxy wars where the USA, almost Cuba as well, that's a big stage there I forgot to mention, where the USA fought communism in different countries, and the USSR tried to influence communism in different countries, where we fought a bunch of different wars on different stages. And that's why Black Ops goes there so heavily, because these are covert missions where they're trying to keep communism out of different countries without making it onto the global stage.
That was not short at all. But
yeah, not at all. I got really into it. Sorry.
Black Ops games, just get back on video games, and I think they're the best line, like the best franchise of Call of Duties.
They're very good. They're very good.
I think they're cool. I couldn't really tell you why. Just in my history of playing Call of Duties, they just seem to be the best ones.
The very first story was probably the best story in Call of Duty of all time, where it came down to, you're in Vietnam, or I'm sorry, was it in Vietnam or was it in Korea?
Don't remember, dude. I played too many of these Call of Duty games to remember.
Yeah, there's so fucking many. It ultimately came down to the fact that the player that you were playing as, was kind of losing his mind. He was actually a Russian spy, and you were imagining shit the entire time, and then sorry, spoiler alert, obviously, but it was a great ending. Black Ops, is that Activision?
They're all Activision.
Oh, what's is it Treyarch then?
Yeah, it's Treyarch.
Thank you.
I believe it's Treyarch. I don't think that's in it. Yeah, it is Treyarch. Infinity Ward does not make the Black Ops games.
Thank you.
No, they make Modern Warfare.
Great stories they do. I think most of the Black Ops are based around that time frame, except for Black Ops 4, where they just went straight to
future
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
And was Black Ops 3 futuristic as well?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Black Ops 3 was
that's the PS4 that I had.
PS4 exclusive. Yes.
It was it was basically space war trash.
Let's keep on the video game train here.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob, what do we got next?
We had the Xbox Games Showcase on Thursday last week, and it was underwhelming. So Brian wrote in the notes real quick, underwhelming, or was it? I think we're on the same page. It was underwhelming.
Well, I have to say that because I didn't. If you listen to We Don't Know Games last week, I said I was going to watch it. I really did want to watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it? You saw the highlights, right?
I was interested in watching it, but I was at work when it premiered, so then by the time I got around to having time to watching it, I had already read so much negativity about the show and just how it wasn't good, how it was not what they expected. So that's why I put in the notes, or was it? Because it's really, I guess, opinion based. I mean, you were either video games really excited about the show, or you thought it was a disappointment. I saw many tweets that said that show solidified my PS5 pre-order. Or Sony is going to wipe the mat with Microsoft again. I saw a lot of those tweets.
The big thing I saw from Xbox, fans was Avowed, Fable, and Halo. But Fable, it was basically
4 years out, right?
I think it's 4 years out. It might be 2. I'm hoping it's only 2, but to me, it's most likely 4. To me, it's coming across the same way Horizon Zero Dawn did on their first debut, right? But you got a cinematic trailer. Obviously, we're all excited. Fable is a great game. Hopefully, they can do what they planned to originally. I think that's what's going to slow them down. Ultimately, is get the coding right on that.
I'm hoping it hits the Switch. Because, Microsoft and Switch have that thing going on.
Yeah. The original will probably go to Switch right before. Yeah. And then you'll get this new one on the next Nintendo, I think.
Yeah.
Then you had
Switch it up.
Yeah, switch it up. Dumb. But then we love the Switch here, by the way.
Yeah.
Just to make that clear. But then we had Avowed, which is basically Skyrim made by Microsoft from the looks of it.
I think it's Obsidian is developing,
yes,
I believe.
Yes, I believe you're right. Basically, they gave us a in-engine trailer where it looked like it put you down into first person, where your character did a quick spell to get his hand ready with magic and pulled out a sword. This also looks like it's a few years out as well. If it's launch title, I'll be surprised. But it really just looks like Skyrim on next gen. And then the last thing they gave us, or the big thing they gave us, obviously was Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite gameplay demo of one of the levels. It looked terrible. I'm sorry. I'm not a Halo guy myself, but the gameplay looked like original Xbox, maybe 360. It did not look good. Xbox did come out and say that we have to remember that this is a work in progress. It's only going to get better. It's been getting better. That level didn't show off the lighting.
6 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I'm tired of that.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. It's okay, dude, but how much time did you have before your big showcase? Here's my thing. Not to be a dick. You have a demo to put out to get people hyped for your game. This is the first time showing it off. Do you, A, work on the entire game equally across the board and improve little things graphically across the board for a 30-hour game, I'm imagining, thereabouts? Or do you spend more time on the demo to make sure the demo looks good as fuck before showing it to the public to make sure that what you hope is your final product is what's shown in the demo?
Okay, so here's my answer to that question. Let's just say for just, all reasons unknown, Xbox Series X releases late November. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Holiday season.
So you should have had a semi-polished demo. You should have had this, what you just showed us, which I didn't see. But you should have had this 2 years ago. So then this game showcase right now, the trailer you show is actual fucking gameplay, you idiots. Why do you refuse to show gameplay?
It had no
because you don't have it.
It's not ready.
This game's not a launch game. For what I've seen, I don't care what they say.
That's the issue.
No way.
I think it will be a launch game, and it's going to be bugged as fuck.
If they launch with this game, they are doing the same exact thing they do every generation.
And
they're starting with problems.
I think that this is obviously, Microsoft is a big part, Xbox is a big part of Microsoft. I think they made $1 billion last year. They're not struggling by any means, but this showcase looked like the beginning of the end.
You're not answering any of the fans'
and
wants.
All of this is playable on a good PC. Why would you put? Do what I do: buy a PlayStation and buy a nice PC. You have everything you need. I just don't understand the concept. I also have a Switch. Don't get me wrong. I get it. I have more money than everyone, like not everyone, God, then a lot of people do. You know, like I have the ability to do this, but if you're considering buying Series X or a PC, just put it in on the PC.
I would never buy an Xbox because I can do more with the PC. So I can have an at-home computer that I can also podcast from, that I can also play AAA games from. Why would I buy an Xbox?
You can edit videos. You can, you know,
at this point, the Xbox is truly a luxury item at that point. It's unneeded.
It really is. And that's ultimately what they're showing right now, because every single thing that they showed in that showcase is also available on PC. So there's no need to have an Xbox, aside from the fact if you are in a family that refuses to buy anything not made in America and your family refuses to buy you a PC. If you're a kid that, like, your parents won't buy anything not made in America, I understand it. You know what? Buy your Xbox. Just know that you're getting a lesser quality. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Or just eat a bunch of Taco Bell and somehow win
$5
on one of those
boxes left and right. You'll get one eventually.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's move on from Xbox.
So GTA.
This is a real resurgence Jacob's going to talk about right now.
Oh, okay. You want me to skip?
No. I was just talking about G4, but
oh no, you know, I thought you were
Xbox.
Yeah.
So, no, Xbox is supposed to have this big resurgence, and they're shitting the bed. So
real quick, I was reading that incorrectly. I was reading GATV. I thought you were trying to say GTA. Wow. But G4TV making a return after 6 years.
Yes, supposed to be coming back in 2021. They released a little trailer during E3, if that's what we're calling this madness that we just went through. And it was basically a warehouse, empty warehouse. I didn't watch the video. I'm completely describing it off a descriptive article that I read. It's like a warehouse, and then there's like a Pong machine. And I guess Pong is the last game, like the last thing G4TV showed when they eventually ended. Really? So it was like the game's still going on, and they said, like, we've never stopped playing. And then it's like, you know, talking about, I think Attack of the what was it? What were the two games?
Attack of the Show, and I cannot remember the other one. I used to watch it for
Attack of the Show, and
I used to watch it for all of the
I think it's
Unreal tournaments.
X-Play and Attack of the Show.
X-Play.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So so those two shows. What I want to talk about, one, I think this is absolutely needed in the climate we are in today, because gaming has become sport.
Yeah.
It deserves its own channel.
Esports needs Esports needs its own ESPN.
Yeah, it deserves a spot. Now, what I want to ask you is, do you put this on TV?
Yes.
Where do you put this?
You're saying, like, do you stream it somewhere? So
where do you put G4TV?
I think
G4TV make it
should be.
Is it a YouTube channel?
That's what I was gonna say. I think it needs to go through YouTube. I think it needs to be just YouTube's premier channel. That needs to be YouTube's premier gaming channel.
I think Machinima is owned by YouTube as well.
Machinima went under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My apologies.
So this is a good
network. There we go.
Yeah. I think it's not big enough to put on cable. I don't think it's small enough to put it through a different streaming service, so it shouldn't be on HBO Max.
What about Hulu?
I think that's still just it should be. I think YouTube's a good place for it, because YouTube, if it's on Hulu, they'll try and do different shows, and it's not its own network anymore.
I agree with you, by the way. I just was throwing out.
Okay, no. That was the only other place that I think it made sense was Hulu, simply because Hulu Live. But
yeah, that's where I was getting it from. Hulu Live. That could be a Hulu Live exclusive channel.
But it won't get enough viewership, and it won't pull enough people to keep it going. You know what I mean? So I think YouTube with commercials, its ads and all that shit, I think it will do well on YouTube. I think it's big enough where it's going to pull a lot of people into YouTube Premium and YouTube Red. I don't think it's big enough to pull people into Hulu Live, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I love G4TV. Real quick, when I lived in Japan, like, that was the one thing that I got gaming news from. It was before IGN, really got big. And G4TV was where I watched, reviews of games. That's how I got into esports in general. I'm super excited for them to come back, and I just don't want it to flop. So whatever it's on, I'm going to do my best to, follow it. That's for sure. I think anyone that our age, G4TV means a lot.
I think I plan on supporting, because I think any way to get video games more mainstream is important to me.
I agree.
Especially in a climate where politicians try to weaponize video games so much. let's get our own section of the world, and we should be.
Let's get a quick shit on 45 real quick if we can in chat.
Yeah. All right, moving on. What's next?
Yeah, so next we got Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. with a rematch.
I didn't want to talk about this too much, just because I know me and Jacob don't watch boxing that much.
I watch it when it's big, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll watch big fights, but to pretend that me and Jacob are boxing,
we're not aficionados by any means.
Ridiculous. I just want to run down a couple quick stats. Tyson's 50-6, 44 knockouts. He's 54 years old. He hasn't fought since 2005, and he hasn't won a fight in 17 years. So, and then hold on, I got a little bit of stats on Roy. Roy Jones, 66-9, 47 knockouts. He's 50. He has fought as recently as 2018. He's won 12 of his last 13 fights, and and they're saying I was just gonna say he might have like a little bit less ring rust than Tyson. I just want to talk about this real quick because I just think it's cool. Two old dudes going in. They're two dudes that I know can still fight. I think
Roy Jones is probably. Him. Oh my God!
I think Roy Jones is probably in better shape. Can probably fight a little bit better. He's a little bit younger, but I do not think he has a chance in this fight. I think Mike Tyson is going to eat him alive.
Yeah.
He's gonna. Yeah. If you get touched by one of those Tyson hooks, it's over with. It's done. Especially him now. He looks more powerful than ever.
Dude, he showed his get in shape videos. Like he's.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
So it'll be a cool fight. Who's on the undercard? Nate Robinson and Jake Paul are on the undercard.
Yeah, that's who I was typing to make sure I got the names right here.
And people are kind of saying that Nate Robinson might be in trouble. I mean, Jake Paul, we might all think of him as a joke, but he does box. He does this.
Yeah, he got his ass kicked by KSI, didn't he?
Yeah. They fought twice.
Who's also a no-name YouTuber? Or not no-name YouTuber, but like he's not a boxer.
I think they fought twice.
All I'm saying is that he's not fought a real athlete yet.
But
Nate
we don't
Robinson
know what
is
Nate
a real
Robinson.
Athlete. I think Nate Robinson is going to rock his shit.
Just doing the little bit of research that I've seen, like Jake Paul is not to be like, we think of him as a joke, but he does this.
And you know what? I will continue to think of him as a joke until if he wins this fight, I'll change my mind. I personally just want to see him get his ass kicked because I just don't like the Paul brothers. I think they're fucking trash.
I mean, nobody's defending them at all.
No, yeah, no. I'm just saying like it would do my heart to see him get his ass kicked.
He's just way bigger than Nate Robinson in like every aspect of life.
See, that's like, and maybe this is the cockiness in me, but like I don't care how big you are. If you're not an athlete, you don't know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
I guess we'll just have to see how.
Oh yeah, I'll go to the restaurants. I'll pay-per-view this if I have to. But do you know what the date is? I think it's September 12th.
I don't give a shit.
I got the date right here. Actually, it's September 12th. We have the Royal fight, so.
All right, let's get on to this last little bit before we get out of here.
Yeah, the last little bit we got here is the NBA is finally coming back. That's all Brian wrote. I just want to throw in there that NHL is also coming back next week. Not quite as big as the NBA, obviously, but for some of us...
Not quite as big.
Yeah. But for some of us, it is still extremely exciting. So, but
NBA, so they've been playing... Yeah, NBA, they've been playing the scrimmage games for the past week. Those are cool to see, but I mean, obviously, they're just... there's rust, and they're getting that... Some big matchups we got this first week of
Clippers and Lakers.
We got the Clippers, Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
We have Boston and Milwaukee. We have Houston and Dallas. We have OKC and Utah. We have New Orleans and the Clippers. We have LA and Toronto. The Lakers versus Toronto. I mean, there's some great games here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, in the first weekend of basketball, the first 4 days.
What is the first day? Does it show it on there for you? I'm sorry.
It's on Thursday.
Thursday? Okay, cool.
Thursday the 30th. Some of these games, though, like I want to say like Friday and Saturday, there's early games, 1 p.m., 2:30 p.m. So, I mean, some of these games are going to be in the middle of the workday, which makes sense because, most people are at home. So, it's like they're not going to lose viewership. I still have to work, because fuck my life. But I'm going to try to watch these games much. And I'm just excited there's some sports back. Like,
oh, yeah.
Just something to watch.
I mean, literally the EPL ended today. We have the FA Cup next Saturday to finish the season out. But soccer's over, or at least soccer that matters, I should say. Yeah. We still have a little bit of Serie A left. MLS, I think, is still doing whatever the fuck they do, if it is considered soccer. But I mean, we're getting real sports back again. We're getting the NBA. We get NHL, which those of us that need another outlet, we got that there. And, and the NFL is just right around the corner, too.
It's going to be NFL's already said that.
They came to an agreement.
NFL said that fans have to wear masks. So, I think they're planning for a season, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. I know the Steelers put on their Instagram a quote by Art Roney. They came to an agreement on how they're going to handle the season. I hope it's going to be a great season. I think it's going to be a little weird without college football going on beside it because I really don't think we're going to get any college football games. I hate to be a Debbie Downer about it, but Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get college football either.
And I'm interested to see how that affects drafts and trades because people traded for certain spots. And, if you're a senior this year.
They're talking about moving the season to the spring, but a bunch of,
it's not going to work out.
Yeah. A bunch of, elite D1 football players have already said, if they move the season to the spring, they're not going to play. They're just going to trade.
Yeah, I'm just going to go straight to NFL. But that's going to be interesting to see, how players like Trevor Lawrence, how do they do without that last season of, tuning? Anyone that was a junior hoping to make a name for themselves in this last season, do they get to stay on and play another year? I'm sorry, I know this whole thing was supposed to be about the NBA, but I get worked up about college football. But just to have sports back, it's going to be it's unprecedented, what we're going through. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it's handled.
I'm hoping sports bring a bit of normalcy back to our life.
Also, can I just
say, a little bit
watching, bits and pieces of those warm-up games. The team that was supposed to be considered home had their fucking fans on a big screen behind them and their own logos. It looks very futuristic and very off-putting.
It is weird.
It's like watching a sports game inside of a video game.
It's better than nothing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely better than nothing. It's just it threw me off a little bit because where you're expecting to see people on the sidelines and but hey, we got something.
Hey, Jacob, shout the team out, man.
Yeah, so like we said at the beginning of the show, this episode is being brought to you by the YouTube channel. If you want to, please go over to YouTube and search the WDK Network. It is the number one thing if you show up with WDK, not if you type in "we don't know." And
don't do that.
And you'll find our other shows there: WDK Sports, WDK Movies, and of course WDK Games. We have several episodes out for everything, and please, please, please subscribe, share with your friends, talk to people. That's the only way we're going to get notice about the show out is if you tell your friends. I can't tell you how many shows I only know about simply because Brian told me they exist. So that's the number one way to get your word out. So please run your mouth about us. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for everyone that does watch.
You guys stopping.
We love you guys.
Appreciate you guys stopping by.
And make sure you go check us out on Twitch, or not Twitch, sorry, Twitter and Instagram as well at WDK_network, as Brian mentioned earlier.
Good. Hey, Jacob, thanks for sitting down with me, man. Another week down.
Yeah. It's been a good week. Well, at least I'll say that. I was actually sick all week, but, I know you had you had some issues this week, too. Not sure.
Yeah, a little discrimination, but you know how it goes. It's just America. I don't really feel like talking about it. Maybe I'll talk about it next week or something like that when I'm over it. We're also doing a little bit of investigation, so I'll talk about it later.
Hopefully we'll have a Bone Zone episode next week. I have a topic that I want us to go over next week if we can Bone Zone it.
And Friday, July 31st, Transformers War for Cybertron, Netflix. Y'all check that out.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
So that is their new anime coming to Netflix. That starts on Friday. So I'm super excited about that. But all that, I think I'm good, Jake. Are you ready to go, man?
Yeah, man. Thanks for joining us on We Don't Know What Happened. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Under 30 minutes.